Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer declares winning trophies as an ego thing. He says clubs like Manchester United, trophies no longer prove success. Now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer must win a trophy at Manchester United this year, because obviously that would mark progress. So I'm saying the exact same thing as what Gary Neville recently said. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, and a club of our stature needs to be winning trophies. The FA Cup is a chance of a trophy, and the Europa League is a chance of a trophy. Now, will Paul Pogba start tonight against AC Milan? Paul Pogba has now returned because he was recently training. The last game Paul Pogba played was the 3-3 draw with Everton, because obviously he had been out with a thigh injury. He has been a big miss because we do lack creativity in that midfield without him, and we are far too defensive. We was getting the best out of Pogba before he got this thigh injury, so hopefully now he'll replicate what he did before he got the thigh injury. Earlier on this season, Pogba had an ankle injury, and he was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury. Now, Paul Pogba, I think there's a good chance he'll stay at Manchester United, potentially past the summer. He has had a long-running transfer saga. He's been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. PSG have been in for him, and his former club Juventus have been in for him. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Manchester United. Now, it said earlier on this season, we revealed our asking price for Paul Pogba, and it was £100 million. We won't get £100 million for Pogba. If we was to sell him in the summer or next year, we'd probably get from between £60 to £70 million. There was narratives coming out earlier on this season saying that Pogba's open to staying at Man United after making a transfer U-turn, and he's willing to discuss a new contract. Now, earlier on this season, Solskjaer suggested Pogba could sign a new contract, and he revealed that he's happy at the club. He's under contract with Man United until June 2022, because earlier on this season we triggered that 1-year option on his contract. Now, Mini Oriola, as you all know, has been desperate to get his client out of the club. We've criticised Mini Oriola a lot, and he doesn't have a good relationship with Man United. But he did say earlier on this season he's got no intentions of destabilising his client's season at Man United. But he made an admission saying that he's working quietly on Paul Pogba's transfer to avoid offence. And he made an announcement back in December regarding Pogba. Solskjaer was furious with Mini Oriola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. Donny van de Beek, he's also returned. I think Donny van de Beek has missed our last 7 games with a muscle injury. Donny van de Beek has played nowhere near as much as I expected at Manchester United. Most of Donny van de Beek's appearances have come from the bench. He's only started 2 games in the league this season. Now, recent narratives said that Donny van de Beek wants to quit Manchester United after just 1 season due to the lack of game time. And Van de Beek said he wanted to hold showdown talks with Ed Woodward over his future. Now apparently Donny van de Beek feels loved at Manchester United. Ronald de Boer has also been talking. He actually urged Donny van de Beek to leave the club to boost his chances for the Euros. That was a while ago. But we need to use him more because he is a good player. We got Donny van de Beek in a deal worth £40 million. We paid £35 million up front and there was £5 million in add-ons, and he's got a contract with Man United until 2025, and he can play in 3 different roles, so he is versatile. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer made an admission saying that Van de Beek was unhappy at the club due to his lack of game time, but he promised him more game time at Man United. ESPN said back in January that we rejected several loan offers for Donny van de Beek because we was reluctant to let him go. De Gea, he's also returned. De Gea hasn't been playing in recent games because not so long ago De Gea was out due to personal reasons. Obviously he's back in Manchester, and not so long ago he was self-isolating. Edison Cavani, he's not part of the squad. That's been confirmed. Anthony Martial, he's also not travelled to Italy because he's got a hip injury. He sustained it in the first leg. Eric Bailly has also not travelled. Matt has not travelled. He's still out with injury. Nathan Bishop, he's not travelled. And Sholo Shortire has not travelled. It'll be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches this game tonight against AC Milan. We're coming into this game on the back of a 1-0 win against West Ham. Weren't the best of games against West Ham. There were some good individual performers. The goal came from an own goal from Craig Dawson. Greenwood had 2 good chances against West Ham, hit the woodwork twice. Marcus Rashford also had a good chance, but he couldn't connect his head with it. Bruno Fernandes had some good chances as well. But reflect on that win against West Ham, I think that now assures us a top 4 finish. And it's back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Man United. Going into this game tonight, AC Milan have the upper hand because they have got that vital away goal. Now obviously it was 1-1 in the first leg at Old Trafford between Man United and AC Milan. It was a very average performance by Man United in the first leg. For large periods of the first leg, AC Milan were in total control. You know, they had some good chances. They had 2 disallowed goals in the game. The only real positive from Man United perspective in the first leg was Amad Diallo Traore coming off the bench and scoring his first goal for the club. It was a good header as well, and it was a good through ball from Bruno Fernandes. Amad Diallo Traore looks a good asset for the first team. We got him in a deal worth £37 million. We should have won the first leg though. AC Milan scored in injury time. Dean Henderson should have saved it because he got a hand to it. Obviously, we had injuries in the first leg, and obviously some of them injured players are now back. AC Milan, though, also had quite a lot of players out of injury in the first leg. But some of their injured players from the first leg are now back. Zlatan Ibrahimovic for AC Milan, he's been injured. It's been confirmed that he's fit to play tonight, but he's probably going to start on the bench and may come on in the game. It'll be good to see Zlatan Ibrahimovic reunite with Man United. Ben Acer, he's also been injured for AC Milan and he's one of their key players. Theo Hernandez was injured in the first leg but now he's recovered from injury. Rebic, he was also injured in the first leg but he's now back. So too was Calhanoglu, he's now back. Calhanoglu is one of AC Milan's key players. I think Mandzukic is still out with injury. Roman Magnoli, he's also been injured for AC Milan. Melinda, he's also been injured as well. So yeah, they've had quite a few injuries. AC Milan have got a very good goalkeeper in Donnarumma. They've also got Diego Dalot. Diego Dalot is out on loan at AC Milan from us. AC Milan lost their last game 1-0 to Napoli, but they are sitting second in Serie A. We've played AC Milan on 11 occasions. There's been 5 wins apiece, and there's also been a draw. AC Milan's current manager is Stefano Pioli. Our next game after AC Milan is Leicester in the FA Cup quarter-final, and that's going to be a tough game. But I said, didn't I, know this is a massive week for Man United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But the Europa League's definitely a priority for us. You know, we got to the semis of the Europa League last season, lost 2-1 to Sevilla. And we won the Europa League back in 2017 under Mourinho. We beat Ajax in the final 2-0. I actually think AC Milan are the favourites to win the Europa League. Now, this year's summer transfer window is the biggest in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career. I'm expecting Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer. I think Solskjaer wants to strengthen up in 4 positions. Man United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have top 4 targets. We're looking to bring a defensive midfielder in. I think we're looking to bring a centre-half in, and we're also looking to bring a right-back in. It said not so long ago we was in search for a goalkeeper. But I'm expecting Solskjaer to get the backing he deserves in the summer transfer window. Because obviously we've got John Murtaugh as our new director of football. And I did say we needed director of football because I mentioned that it's one of the structural changes that we need at the club. And John Murtaugh knows the club well because he's been at Man United for like 7 or 8 years. And we've got Darren Fletcher, who's the technical director. You know, Darren Fletcher knows the club through thick and thin. He endured 2 decades as a player for Manchester United. I think, yes, Solskjaer's had the transfer summit with our new recruitment team. Obviously, you know, there was discussing our transfer targets and discussing our transfer plans for the summer in general. We've obviously got Michael Carrick, that's part of the club, and he also knows the club well. Solskjaer is set to have his final say on our transfer incoming deals, not John Murtaugh. Woodward did a statement not so long ago and he says the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear, so in that aspect Woodward is backing Solskjaer. The summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. So far he's endured 4 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. He's spent almost £300 million and he has made some good signings, but as yet he hasn't got all the players that he wanted to recommend in. But Woodward has come out several times to show his support for Ollie, and even enjoying them bad periods, Woodward assured that Solskjaer's job was safe. Our board have got a soft stance on Ollie, with him being a club legend. Our transfer budget has already been revealed for the summer. It's £80 million. A lot of Man United fans are shocked in that aspect. Obviously, £80 million isn't enough for us to get the players that we want in. So it did say that Solskjaer's planning to sell at least 4 players this summer to bolster our transfer budget, and he hopes to raise an extra £60 million. But like I say, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. Now obviously yesterday I give you the news on Cristiano Ronaldo. Now apparently Cristiano Ronaldo has instructed his agent that he wants to seal a transfer away from Juventus. He also mentions that Man United have made their transfer decision on Cristiano Ronaldo, and it says we will not be pushing to re-sign Ronaldo this summer. But 2O Sports said that Cristiano Ronaldo is more likely to return to Man United than Real Madrid. Reports in Spain have been saying this week that Cristiano Ronaldo could make a sensational return to Real Madrid, and Juventus are willing to just accept 25 million, but Real Madrid are looking to get Kylian Mbappe. Obviously, Ronaldo's been at Juventus a good 3 years or so now. Juventus paid £100 million for him. He's got a contract with Juventus until 2022. Cristiano Ronaldo is 36 years of age, but I don't care. I would take him back at Man United. He's regarded as one of the best players in the world, or is the best player in the world, should I say. Ronaldo's won 31 major honours in his playing career. He's won 5 Ballon d'Ors. We had Ronaldo for 6 years. We had him from 2003 to 2009. During his time with us, he won 3 Premier Leagues. He won the Champions League. He won the FA Cup, and he won 2 League Cups, and he also won the FIFA Club World Cup. When we got Ronaldo, we paid just £12 million for him from Sporting Lisbon. A few years ago, there was narratives of Cristiano Ronaldo possibly coming back to the club. But it'd be interesting to see how he'd do if he actually did come back to Man United. But I'm very, very sceptical that it will happen. The news as well on Nikola Milenkovic. Gazzetta dello Sport have recently said that Man United are the clear favourites to sign Nikola Milenkovic, and we have been in negotiations with his agent. Nikola Milenkovic is valued at £30 million, and it mentioned that he's already packing his bags ready for the move to the Premier League. Apparently, we've been in negotiations with his agent since last summer. Liverpool have been interested in him as well. Nikola Milenkovic plays for Fiorentina. He's turned down a contract there. He's under contract with Fiorentina until 2022. Fiorentina got him in 2017. They paid £5 million for him from Partizan. He's young, he can play as a centre-back, and he can also play as a right-back. Declan Rice. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has agreed with the new recruitment team that Declan Rice would be the perfect signing at the club. West Ham are demanding £80 million if they are to allow him to go. Earlier on this season, it said that West Ham were considering lowering their asking price for Declan Rice to £50 million. He was relentlessly linked to a move to Chelsea last year. That's when obviously Frank Lampard was in charge. And obviously Frank Lampard was infuriated when he missed out on Rice because he was Frank Lampard's top target. The main explanations I take Rice at Man United is because he would improve us in the midfield. We're seeing him as a long-term replacement for Matic. He's well proven in the Premier League. And his performances have been outstanding for West Ham. Predominantly a holding midfielder but can play as a centre-half. Declan Rice has been at West Ham for 7 years now. Made around 127 appearances in the Premier League and he's scored 4 goals. Got a contract with West Ham until 2024. Before he was at West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for quite a long time, but he never got into their first team. I give you the news on Jules Koundé not so long ago from Sevilla. It's mentioned that we've been handed a boost in our bid to sign Jules Koundé because Sevilla have lowered their asking price to £50 million for Jules Koundé. So they've knocked £20 million off because originally they was demanding £70 million plus add-ons. There was narratives coming out earlier on this season saying that we was unwilling to meet Jules Koundé's £68 million release clause, but he says we're prepared to pay around £61 million for him, and he actually said earlier on this season we were considered the favourites to sign him. And obviously you know the news on Erling Haaland. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as you all know, he's agreed to sign a new contract at Man United worth £9 million a year. We've given him a pay rise. Sources at Old Trafford have already said that talks are set to begin any day on the new deal. Because later on this month, Solskjaer enters the final year of his 3-year contract. He said earlier on this season that Solskjaer's future was in doubt because he admitted that nobody had spoke to him over a new contract. And it actually said we'll wait until the end of this season to begin contract talks with Solskjaer. But I think he does deserve a new contract reflecting on the progress he's made. I don't think he's the long-term manager for Man United. But I think he does deserve at least another season at the football club. Man United plan for the long-term future under Solskjaer. That's why we're lining up these transfer targets. You know, this is Solskjaer's second full season at the moment. And I said if we can win a trophy this season and we can finish second, I'll turn around and say that represents a good season for Man United and that gives us something to build on going on into next season. You know, there has been a lot of Man United fans demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of the club. Maybe there's still some Man United fans that are Ole in. And he's been criticised a lot as Man United manager, but there's main explanations behind that. Obviously, I've already told you my 2 big concerns about Ole. But you've got to turn around and say that Solskjaer is our best manager since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Because we've enjoyed very good periods under Ole where we have seen consistency and enjoying some of them good periods. You know, he's got the best out of the team and he's improved certain players. So, yeah. A lot of United fans said we give him the job too soon. You know, maybe we should have waited until the end of that season to decide or not whether to give him the job. But some United fans in general think we made a mistake by giving him the job permanently. Some people think, you know, Solskjaer's in a position he shouldn't be in. You know, is the club too big for him to manage? You know, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. But if things don't work out under Solskjaer, I'll still always adore him because, you know, he is a club legend. He was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. But, you know, reflecting how long he's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit on the job. But he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. He's been at Man United now over 2 years. But we have got to credit Ole in quite a few aspects. You know, we're second in the Premier League. At one point, he got us top of the Premier League. But we're no longer in the title race because there was a period where we dropped too many points. You know, winning the FA Cup quarter-finals, within the Europa League last 16, got us to the EFL Cup semi-final this season. You know, he's got rid of a lot of players since he came in. You know, Solskjaer did well last season in his first full season at the club. Got us to 3 semi-finals, got us third and got us qualification for the Champions League. Also went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions last season. 14 unbeaten in the Premier League. Got a fantastic away record. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. And I also like the way that Ole has promoted the youth. So we've got to credit him for that. You know, we have made mistakes in the last 8 years, and that's why we haven't been as consistent as we'd like to have been. You know, we haven't been the same team since Ferguson, but like I've already said, no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. We've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson retired, and that was David Moyes. We sacked him after 10 months. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning 3 trophies in his first season. And we're not even really known as a sacking football club. In recent years, we've overpaid for players, and our recruitment has been very poor for a while. Hopefully, that'll all change in the summer. We spent over £1 billion since Ferguson retired, and we've brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired. In the summer transfer window, like I said, we are going to sell players. I think we'll sell more than 4 players in the summer. I think there's a good chance Juan Mata will leave the club. We could sell Matic in the summer. There's a good chance Cavani's going to leave. A lot of United fans are saying we should sell Anthony Martial. Pogba will probably now stay potentially past the summer, so disregard him leaving in the summer. De Gea, there's a good chance we'll sell him in the summer so we can make Dean Henderson our first choice goalkeeper. Been looking at a few good goalkeepers though, could replace De Gea. Phil Jones, I want him to leave. Some United fans have said we should offload Victor Lindelof. You know, Donny van der Beek, he's another one who could go. Romero, do you think we'll also offload him? I think we'll look to get rid of Jesse Lingard permanently. We'll also look to get rid of Diego Dalot permanently. So we'll get rid of all them players. We'll generate quite a lot of money, and that'll help us with our rebuilding process. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.